And today is a big one, guys. It is learning to surrender and recognizing that you don't always have to be the one to fix it. That's a lot all within itself. So tune in as we dive deeper into this topic on today. Hey, welcome back. I'm Chanté, and I know you're here because you want to continue learning how to heal, how to grow, and how to be your best self. So thanks for tuning in. Of course, I always have topics that are related to things that I myself have personally experienced or have seen and walked with others closely experiencing those things. Several months ago, I went to a retreat, and at that time, I had a roommate there. And while I was there, I was sharing with her that life over the last couple of years have felt overwhelming. Felt like I was in a boxing ring, like I was about to get a knockout punch, but I was continuing to hold on. I was not going to let myself fall. You know, if you've ever seen boxers fighting and one goes ahead and gives a one huge punch and the opponent feels like they're about to fall down, they're wobbling, their head is going round and round, and you know it's inevitable. But they keep resisting it because they do not want to fall. That was what my life had looked like over the last few years. I was not going to give up. I did not want to fall. I had to figure it out. I have to keep it together. I had to keep on going because if I didn't do it, who would? And as I was discussing this with my roommate, she mentioned to me, she said, "Why can't you just fall?" And that really, really challenged me. So for those of you who may have been having a challenging year, a challenging life, a challenging season, and you have felt like you had to be the one to figure it out, that there's been no one else who could help you, that there's been no support, that there have been lack of resources, that you have always felt like you've had to be the one to fix it. You've had to be the one to figure it out. You've had to be the one to hold it together, that everything relied on you, that there was no hope, that if you took a break, things would not work out. If you asked someone else, things would fall out of place, that everything was weighted on you. And I want to ask you that same question. Why can't you just fall? There are so many reasons we feel like we can't fall. One is because we've put so much pressure on ourselves and we truly are not functioning in faith. We're not really believing that God can change it. We're not really believing that God can handle it because we feel like the outcome is always based on our decisions, on our actions, on what we're able to do or not able to do. And yes, we say we love God, and yes, we say we trust Him, and yes, we say things are going to get better. You're not really living out the faith. You are living based on what is rational, living based on how you're feeling, living based on what you feel like your situation looks like right now. And that has not been serving you well, if you're honest. All the weight on you, all the pressure, all the frustration, all the times you've cried and no one has known, all the times that you felt like you needed to be the one to figure it out. You needed to be the strong one. You needed to be the faithful one. You needed to be the consistent one. Isn't that tiring? Isn't it time for you to just fall? Other reasons that prevent us from falling is fear. The fear that there will be a negative outcome if you're not the one responsible for it. The fear that you will fail. The fear that bills won't get paid. The fear that the kids won't behave the way that they should, the fear that that relationship won't work out, the fear that you'll lose that job, the fear that you can't possibly do that big thing, that impossible thing, that irrational thing that God is asking you. Because there's fear that you won't be able to get it done. Fear that it's too much. Fear keeps us from walking in faith, from moving in the way that God is showing us. And I want to continue to ask, why can't you just fall? But you may say, Chanté, what does falling look like? I've been doing this for so long. I've been trying to figure it out for so long. I've been trusting in me for so long. What does it look like? Falling looks like resting. It looks like getting in God's presence, understanding what He has for you, understanding what He wants for you. It looks like not always being the one to have the plan and figure it all out. It looks like surrender. Surrender has been one of the most challenging things for me to do. And I've shared with you in other videos that I am a strategist, right? I'm a coach, I'm a physician, and I'm always using strategy, helping people as they navigate through life's challenges to be strategic, to have a plan. But I'm learning the importance of surrender, the importance of letting go of my way and trusting God's way. And as I've spent more time at His feet, spent more time reading, spent more time meditating, spent more time just being, right? Not doing, because I know you're really good at that. You're good at coming up with a plan. You're good at thinking about the next thing. You're good at going and going and going. But it's time to start being. And it's a struggle when you haven't given yourself permission to do that. When you haven't actually taken time out to rest. Not just sleeping more, but resting your soul. Being in a pace of rest. Being in the place of rest. Just being, okay? It is sometimes a challenge to just be. Because how are all of those things on your to-do list going to get done? But I want to tell you that the more you try to do, often the worse things can get. Often you're delaying the blessings, the same things that you have been asking God for. And I want to encourage you in this season to just be. For some of you, being looks like taking time for yourself in the morning to just sit with the Lord, not to pray for Him to fix it, not to pray for a new strategy, a new plan, a new way out, but to sit, to be still, to be quiet. Something that is foreign actually in our culture today, when we're always on our phones, we're always doing something new, we are always on social media, we're always texting, we're always looking at the newest technological gadget. We don't know how to sit and be still. There's always background music, background noise, something going on. But you need to sit. That is where your peace will come in the presence. That is where the calm necessary to take on the day's challenges, which will be many, they will happen. That is where it is, to sit and to be. For some of you, being looks like obedience. The O word that we don't like to talk about. It looks like doing what God said. And maybe if you feel like you're not hearing what God said or understanding what He's telling you, or don't feel like you hear Him at all right now, go back to the last thing that He shared with you. Did you do it? Or did you make an excuse? Did you have fear? Did you allow life circumstances to circumvent the direction He was actually pointing you to? I want you to release some of that. Some of that fear, some of that control. Okay. Am I the only one who's dealt with this? And by control, I'm not saying you're just trying to be bossy and tell everyone what to do, although that could be an extreme. I am talking about you feeling like you want to do things your way and not necessarily God's way. And many of you may think like, I do a lot of good things. I'm helping others, I'm involved in my church, I'm active. And yes, you're doing those things, but perhaps you're too busy. Are you doing God things? Did God tell you to do that? So even if things are good, it doesn't mean it was what God had for you to do. And those things start to take away from your ability to be obedient. I'm hoping that as we're having these discussions, as we are navigating through these difficult conversations, that you're realizing that you should surrender. There's peace there. There's joy there. There's hope there. And it's hard. And you want to keep holding on. But if you're honest with yourself, you know that you've tried so many things and they haven't worked. That you keep trying not to get that knockout punch. But the unsteadiness of it all is making you feel like you're failing. It's making you feel like you're not sure how things are going to get done. You don't feel peace about it. You feel frustration. You feel overwhelmed. But I want to ask you, why can't you just fall? Please like and share this video. I'm so happy that you guys are continuing to tune in as we're on this journey to healing. Send it to people that you know, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.